NFL 23 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. He'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. He'll look to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Not the only possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, empty possession, not what they were seeking.
To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Well, this looks like a roughing call. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Partner, it took a while for him to walk onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
To throw is Cousins. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. Able to avoid him. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. A CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They'll look to throw now on first down. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Cox. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to line up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now back to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's saved at the 28. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays and give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Rodrigo Blankenship and the Colts field goal unit comes on. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Their second drive of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 24, Cousins. Complete. This is Albert Wilson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at the first down.
That's how he should caught the interception he threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Now Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To the air again, it's Cousins. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Cousins. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
So partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Indy set to go on offense once more. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. The toss here completed to Pittman. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Northern played really good run defense when they're playing a 3-4. Those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they'll just run them in here.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. Touchdown, Colts. Wk15, an 11-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Last time out they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They start the drive with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. From the 25 on 2nd down. Cousins, complete. Jefferson the target. That one a first down pickup of 8.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins, and he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing, Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
Holding offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
It's game time. Let's focus in on what we got to do here. Let's rock and roll, baby. On the set.
2nd and 6. Got an open man. It's QT. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. They'll drop to throw. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. looking to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground, and he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This fielded right at the goal line. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Cook again. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. I know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First down. Here's Cousins. And he completes it to Wilson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possess the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it and catch it, and he gets it done.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him looking out the backfield. He got ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez standing right on his own 5-yard line. A little juke. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Dances by him. And a strong run that time as it's across midfield. And down to the 43. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Shaquille Leonard in there to blow that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Cousins to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts' 31-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Cousins.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
And the Colts are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap for this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Seems pretty obvious defensively, a key to stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll set up to throw. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there and gives them a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. Again the juke. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll look to throw. Touchdown! Kiki QT with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A 10-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins
goes right back to Smith again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A 1st down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Throwing, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Flush to his right, and he'll just get rid of it.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way now and get the ball back.
Yeah, the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So the field goal got him back within one score, and now the focus lies on this onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Oh, heck of a move. Man, a tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run once more with Taylor. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now a give to Taylor. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Looks to perhaps salt this one away. Blankenship's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Cousins and the Vikings down 20-10. A little over a minute to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters. So I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Cousins to throw. That's caught by Wilson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
That's complete. It's Cook. And he'll manage maybe 10 yards, but they'll surrender that defensively, no problem. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. One last shot now for Cousins. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.